Hey guys, welcome to Economic. Today, gonna look at price elasticity of demand. Okay, we'll use Excel. So PED is the short form for price elasticity of demand. Okay, so first thing is we need a demand curve. So curve is actually just a line, but so we have a y-axis and an x-axis, and the y-axis is normally price, and the x-axis is quantity. But since it's a demand curve, uh, it's the quantity demanded. Okay. Um, so we need to create. Let's just start with x is 0, and then let's say the the x step. Okay, let's just make it, I don't know, 10. Okay, so this is an input. I'm just gonna put, okay, it starts with 0. Then this will just be 0 plus 10. Okay, lock that cell. So this will create uh, what we need. Let's just go up to 100. Okay, okay. Right. So now that we have the x, we shall put the y as well. Okay, maybe I'll move the y over here. Okay. So we need a formula. So normally, demand curve is downward sloping. So the slope is -1. So you know how you learn y equals to mx plus c, or y equals to c plus mx, okay, or y equals to, let's just use a more structured notation. Let's go with the intercept, uh, b0 plus b1 times x, the demand curve. So the slope is -1 because it is rise over run, rise over 1, which is -1. Okay, so that's the slope here. Right. So we got the slope. We're going to create the. Uh, we're going to create this curve, or this. Right. So y equals to, let's see, the intercept, let's just go with, okay, so the intercept is, the intercept is c. It is still c here. Here is b0. And the intercept, let's go with 100. Why 100? Because this guy here, this is all the way here, is going to cut at 100. Okay, and then this is probably going to cut at 100 also later, right? But this is the intercept, so this is C, okay, or the price at which nobody's going to buy your good. Demand is 0. Okay, so we have everything we need for the equation. Okay, we got the intercept here, we got the slope here. Okay, so let's see. The y equals to b1, and I lock that cell because I'm going to drag it down later, times x. So x is blue color because it's a formula. You double click, drag down. Okay, so now we have x and y. We have quantity demanded and price. You can select this and insert. Let's look at recommended charts. Oh, okay. Line chart. Okay, line chart. Scatter line chart. All charts. Mm, line chart. I think scatter is looks okay. Scatter, like scatter. This like no recommended chart. Scatter and line. Okay, right. Okay, so we have this nice chart here. Okay. Um, let's put in the axis titles. Let's make this big, bold, 20. Right. So quantity. Well, in this case, we're only looking at the demand curve, so quantity demanded. Okay. So, how can we calculate? Uh, let's look at uh, how can we calculate price elasticity of demand. So the definition of price elasticity of demand is um, change in price, okay? Change in price over change in, I don't know, change in price over the original price divided by, uh, no, what is it? No. Okay, let me look it up. Change in quantity, right? Percentage change in quantity. Okay, so it's the percentage. Okay. Let's break percentage change in price. Okay. Okay. So what in the world is percentage change in quantity? Okay, percentage change in quantity is just uh is just the change in before the change. Okay, I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, okay. So uh and then this price, the original, before the change. Okay, so let's start with, okay, this is the original state. We are at 50. Quantity demanded is 50 and the price is 50. So here and here. Okay, so let me draw. Okay, so this is the start. Okay, that's 50 and that's 50. Okay, so this is the start, and then from here we're gonna move around, make some changes. Let's see what's changed. Okay, so since we have the start, we just have to um, let's just okay, okay. Then the change, the change. What's the change? The change is basically, let's break it down. The change is, what's this? Eh, Uh, yeah, okay. So change in quantity is basically uh, something minus something, right? So it's the the quantity after minus the quantity before. Okay, so the change, right? So the quantity before is also 50, okay? Because so I'm just going to point it there because if we change the inputs, this will just follow, okay? And then change in price is also the same thing, right? So it's always after minus before, okay? So this is the price after, this is the price before. The price before is basically gonna get from this cell. Okay, so the problem is like, what's the price after, right? Price after is something we can choose. So which way do we want to go? We can only change one thing. So since X is like the the okay, so this is the quantity after. Let's say we increase 50 to 70, for example. Okay. Okay, so okay, 20. Okay, so that's the change in price. So once we have the change in price, I mean this 50 basically increased to 70 is here. Okay, bring to front. Okay. Oh man, everything's gone. No, 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 no. Okay, okay, I just have to delete all the other. Quantity demanded is now the change in quantity is plus 20, okay, because we're moving from this point to this point, okay, going here to here on the demand curve. Demand curve, okay. So we have calculated the change in quantity, right? So because this is a linear relationship, price, uh, you know, I don't know which affects which, but just for the point, X and Y, let's just say X. Quantity demand. Actually, it works both ways, but just mathematically, typically we change X and then see what happens to Y, right? So so what's going to happen to Y is it's going to this point the equation of 100 minus the the quantity, okay? Yeah. Okay, which is the dependent, which is the independent variable, that's the can be discussed later, but just mathematically, if we look at the mathematically, if we look at the this graph, the way it's drawn, okay, then it looks like quantity demanded is the independent. Calculate this, which is the change in price. Okay, this one you need to use the formula here. Okay, use the formula. So the formula here is basically, uh, oh, okay, wait. Right. So because the price after corresponds to the quantity after. So again, so this is basically, you know, we can either look up the table here. The quantity is 70. Uh, your quantity is 70. Your price is 30, right? So we can also use a formula. You can either look up the table here or use the formula. Use formula or look up the table. Okay. Price after is basically your intercept plus the slope times your quantity. And since it's quantity after, okay, it's 30, okay? So here we use the formula. Okay, you can also look up the table, because you already have the. Okay, you can look up the table. I digressed a little bit. Match, match the 70 from here. Okay, you can ignore this part. I'm just okay. That's offset the number of rows. Zero. Okay, you get 30 as well. Okay, never mind this. Anyway, it's 30. So now we calculate. What's the percentage change in price? Okay, the percentage change in price. Okay, then times 100. Okay, percentage change. I mean, don't need the times 100. Let's just it's basically minus 0.4. Okay, and then for quantity is 0.4. Okay, the percentage change part is important. Okay, it's not just the absolute change in you need to calculate the percentage change because it's different. It happens right now that you know we can try another example later if we it happens the curve is symmetric right now. All right. Uh, Anyway, then the price elasticity of demand is basically is like what if what happens if the curve is like you know make this thicker. What happens if if the curve were like this, okay, like it it's not here, but what if I move the whole thing up here, okay? Like what if this is this is we're moving from this point to this point, okay? Then the denominator for your price is very big, okay? The original price big. Whatever change happens on the quantity side, right, is over a small denominator. Then your percentages is different. Then you're not gonna get like a nice minus one. But maybe we cover that in another video. Yeah, okay. So anyway, this just show how to calculate it. Uh, Yep. Okay. That's it.